Hey guys, it's Alicia. Today's video is another What's for Dinner on WW. My husband and I are on WW Green, so I will be showing you the meals that we had this week, as well as giving you the points for all of these meals. Now, even though we are on green, I will also be including the points for the blue and purple plans as well. I will also have links to the full videos of any of these meals that I have done videos on before. And in those videos, you can find the ingredients, instructions, and points. But let's jump into the first meal of the week. Our first meal was Dorito taco salad. I absolutely love this stuff. It is so easy to make, comes together in just a few minutes, and it is very, very good. And it reminds me of my childhood because my mom made a version of it when we were growing up as kids. So again, this is very easy. It just starts off with a pound of lean ground turkey. We use the 93% lean, 7% fat. You could use a leaner one and the points on this would be even lower, but this is what we use. You could also use ground beef, a lean ground beef. So you're gonna just cook that in your pan, get that nice and browned. And then once that's browned, you're gonna add in some taco seasoning, a can of Rotel, a can of rinsed and drained black beans, and a little bit of water. Then you're gonna just stir all that together and let it continue to cook for a few minutes. And then you're going to take it off the heat and let it cool down. You're then gonna take some Doritos. I've got them in a bowl here, and you're gonna just smash those up into whatever size pieces that you're gonna want for your salad. Next, you're gonna take some lettuce. I use that iceberg and romaine, and you're gonna add it to a large bowl. I use probably about half of that bag of lettuce. I like to get as much lettuce in as I can. And then I'm gonna add some green onion and red onion to this. I didn't put all that in, just probably about half of what I have in that container there. Also gonna add a little bit of cilantro. Again, I probably only used about half of that container. And then some zesty Italian dressing. You could also use Catalina, but that is fat-free. And then you're going to kind of stir this together to try to kind of get that down a little bit to make room for the rest of your ingredients. Then you're gonna add in some low-fat cheese and stir that in there too. And then once your meat mixture is cooled, you're gonna add that in there and stir that up real well. Now, if you were gonna serve this to a large group of people, you would wanna add in your Doritos right now. Since there's only gonna be 2 of us eating it, we add our Doritos to the individual servings just to keep them from getting all soggy. And here's a serving of that, which is just about a cup. It's actually probably over a cup. This makes 14 servings, but I put a little extra lettuce in mine usually, so I get a little bigger servings. I went ahead and topped mine with some fat-free Greek yogurt for 0 points, a little bit of tomato, and a little more cilantro. And then I also just went ahead and threw my Doritos on top of mine. Again, that is a 14th of the total Doritos, and I just like to do it that way to keep them from getting soggy. So the points on this are gonna be 4 on all 3 colors. So dinner tonight for us was just 4 points. Next, we had steak with mushrooms and onions and a side of steamed broccoli. We got this steak from Aldi. It's a top sirloin. I've been wanting to try their steak. I have used their meats before, but it's usually been in a recipe, so I wanted to try a steak just by itself. So all we did to this was add a little salt and pepper, and then my husband grilled it up. While my husband is grilling the steak, I slice up some onions and some mushrooms, and then I just saute those in a pan. I don't add any oil or anything, just a little bit of pepper, and I just cook these until they are nice and softened. At that point, I add in a little bit of wine. You don't have to do this if you don't want to, but I just like the flavor that the wine adds to these. So I add that in there and then just cook that around in there for another minute or 2. And then once the steak was done, I just went ahead and topped it with the mushroom and onions. Now, this is 4 ounces of that top sirloin steak, and that is gonna be 7 points on all 3 colors. I went ahead and added a point for the mushroom and onions just because I had some wine in there. So that's gonna make this steak 8 points. We had some steamed broccoli with this too. And I just peppered that and added a little, I can't believe it's not butter. So there was no points for that. So dinner total for all 3 colors tonight would be 8 points. Next up was 1 skillet cheeseburger pasta. We had this with a side of fresh broccoli and dip. This starts off with a pound of lean ground turkey. Again, I'm using 93% lean, 7% fat. And I've got this in a non-stick skillet, so I'm not using any oil or anything. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of fresh ground black pepper to this. And then I'm also going to add in a orange bell pepper and a red onion that I've chopped up. I'm also gonna add in some sliced mushrooms. I had those left over from something else, and so I thought I'd just throw those in here. This is one of those recipes where you can kind of just toss in whatever it is that you're wanting to use up. So that's what I did here. So then I'm gonna just cook this until those veggies are softened and that turkey is browned. Next, I'm gonna add in a little garlic and let that cook in there for about a minute or so. Then I'm gonna add in some diced tomatoes, some Worcestershire sauce, some ketchup, mustard, and then I'm gonna stir all that together. Next, I'm gonna add in some chicken broth and some penne pasta and stir that all together. And then I'm gonna just let this simmer until that pasta has absorbed most of that liquid that's in there and is cooked. Now I'm gonna take some of this Mexican style blend cheese, low fat cheese, dump it in there and stir it in until that cheese has completely melted. And here's dinner. Now a serving of that pasta is a cup, so I've got that there. And I went ahead and added a little green onions to the top of it. Now on green and blue, that pasta is gonna be 7 points. On purple, it is 6. Along with that, we're having a little bit of raw broccoli and some of this dressing. The dressing is a point on all 3 colors per serving. And here is what it is right here. This Bolt House Farms Cucumber Ranch. It's actually really good. It's the first time I've tried this flavor of the Bolt House dressings, but most of them that I've tried are pretty good. So all combined, our dinner total tonight on green was 8 points. It's also gonna be 8 points on blue and only 7 on purple. The last thing we had this week was egg roll in a bowl. Now, I'm not gonna show making this because I've shown this so many times since it is one of our absolute favorites. But as I said in the beginning, I will have the full recipe video linked down below for this, as well as for the other ones that I have videos for, and you can check this out if you haven't seen it already. But as I said, it is definitely one of our favorites. It's so good. It comes together really quickly, and it's just, yeah, one that I keep making over and over again because of that. So this right here is a serving, and it's gonna be 3 points on all 3 colors. Now, I do wanna point out that this serving is considerably bigger. I would say probably almost twice as big as the serving size I have on the video that I made on this. And that is only because I add about twice the amount of cabbage to it that I used to. So I'm getting a much bigger serving. Plus I also this time added mushrooms to it. So I like to bulk it up with as many veggies as I can, and then that just gives you a much bigger serving for the same amount of points. So again, this is a serving size. It's about 2 cups and 3 points for dinner tonight. That is what we ate for dinner this week on WW. I hope, as always, maybe this gave you guys some ideas and was helpful to you. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next one.